everyone, this is Neo Kenshin here. I'm actually coming to you with a new version of Let's Play. I was currently working on two of my other games, Mega Man X4, Mega Man X2, and Mega Man 4, but unfortunately my console decided to mess up on me. So I've actually decided to go today and bring back some old classics. This is actually going back to the NES era, back during the Disney Classics era. Disney actually teamed up with Capcom to produce a lot of pretty interesting games from the era, and this is going to be the first one. This is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, which was a pretty popular cartoon back in the early 90s, and it was actually one of the best co-op games for the NES. So I actually pretty liked it. It's definitely a fun series. Had great music, great gameplay, and overall it was just a lot of replay value. It was really fun. So we'll go ahead and get things started here. And my personal preference, you do get to choose in single player between Chip, he's the black-nosed chipmunk, or Dale, the goofy red-nosed one with the Hawaiian shirt. And of course, he's my favorite, so we're going to go with him. And now, of course, we do have a basic storyline. Of course, the Rescue Rangers, as they call them, they're out trying to do their thing, you know, keeping everything safe in the town. So we'll see what's going to go on here and see what we can do to take care of things. Okay, stage one starts off right off the bat. This was always the interesting stage. The music here is just amazing. It's pretty fast-paced. It's got the robot dogs. The effects were even more interesting, especially when you see the chipmunks pick up something big like the apples or anything, and you can see the sweat coming off of them. So that actually kind of makes it kind of amazing, you know. The gameplay is pretty interesting, and so we've got here an invincibility chest. For anybody who remembers the old cartoon, this was a little fly partner named Zipper. He gives you invincibility in this game. But basically with the gameplay, the main attacks are Chip 'n Dale. They can pick up objects and throw them as weapons. They can even duck underneath crates and blocks, and anytime you duck, you can see they're kind of hiding there. You can see the eyes there. But a unique feature is that if the enemies run into you, they will actually be destroyed like that. So it's a good way to cover yourself, and you know, you don't have to worry about taking damage there. And pretty much we're just running through here. But you can kind of get a sense of the actual world back when the game was made, simply because, you know, they're chipmunks, and so you can see, you know, pencils and everything, you know, things basically which were huge for their era. That's pretty interesting. And we're actually about to get the first boss here. And that, of course, was their big bulky friend. I think his name was Monterey Jack or something. He was something like Cheese. He was a mouse that loved it. But this is the first boss. The boss music, it was some of the best boss music that was released for a Nintendo game. It's real fast-paced. It's got an exciting tempo to it. It's definitely enough to keep you on your toes, especially when you first play this game and you didn't know what was going on. You get kind of confused, and next thing you know, you'd end up dead. And of course, after every stage, there's always a bonus stage where you can always pick up crates to get an extra life. Okay, now we've come to the main antagonist of the cartoon series. This was Fat Cat. He was one of their primary antagonists, so apparently, of course, he's going to be the big bad guy for the game. Now, with this particular run, one thing you'll notice is that you can actually choose your stages as to how you want to go. You have various stages you can pick, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to run through all of them. It's not necessarily going to be a speed run. This is just going to be a run that's going to show you a lot of the game. So we're going to start off with Zone A. And now Zone A is the treetop level. We've got a new theme song going. We got a new background theme, which is once again fast-paced and exciting, so it keeps you on your toes. Introduces a few new enemies here, a few new mechanics, but it's just one of those stages that just really, you know, keeps you pumped and just you want to run through it as fast as you can. And then of course, the flashing acorns, that of course is your health. Anytime you get one of those, it will restore you back to your maximum health points of 3 hearts. But basically right now we're just running through, you know, it's pretty easy, just avoiding the flying squirrels. One good thing about this game is when you do attack is you're not necessarily confined to just left and right. You can actually throw up and throw down, and that way it gives you, you know, for speedruns you can just blaze through it. And once again we're at the boss, which is a giant owl. Another thing I forgot to mention, with any of the boss stages, there, of course, the weapon is always a big rubber ball, apparently, that you can pick up and throw. Of course, if you get hit by it, as you did see, it does stun you for a bit. But usually 5 hits, and the boss is over. So we're Zone A's done. So we'll just keep on going, trying to get as many extra men as we can. And of course, there's our captive, the only female member of the team, Gadget, which back then, of course, was everybody's. Everybody loved her for some reason. So, but she's actually the one that you're actually out to rescue here. So we'll just keep going and basically plow our way through and make our way to rescue her. Now we're gonna start off with going to go to Zone B. This one's actually another change of music. You're actually in a diner. So this is actually pretty interesting. That's another thing that was really good about these games, is that Capcom would mix up the music. So, you know, you always had a fresh music tune going on. You didn't have to worry about the game feeling kind of stale because it was just bland. The music was always adjusted based on your level, so it always kept you interested, and it always kept things, you know, kept things going at a good, even pace, kept things going smoothly. And of course, this is what in the hint after the first level that Gadget mentioned was the taps. You got to jump on these 2 or 3 times, and that will actually shut the water off, and you can keep going through. Oh, did not mean to do that. And like I mentioned before, with the effects, whenever they pick up huge items, you can see the sweat kind of running off of them, simply because they're actually picking up a lot more. And I gotta be careful here, I'm gonna die. Okay. Oh, take that back. Full health. And let's see here. Keep things going smoothly. Now, this was something strange. I don't know what that is. Apparently, it's something in the game that nobody ever figured out. It looks like a pepper bottle, but what do you do with it? No, and also with the enemies you see here, these are the little alien things that I think it was one episode or something could turn into your character, one of the main characters or something. I'm not necessarily sure what it was. And here we go with the boss, which is the alien spaceship, which we've got to try to watch out for the little aliens he dropped. With this boss in particular, a lot of times if you time it right, he'll actually go left and right at a lower height, and you can actually throw the ball horizontally, and if you're fast enough, you can actually get in 2 hits at one time, which is actually a pretty unique trick. And okay, another hit. Okay, so that's Zone D. We'll actually wait first. We're going to go through Zone C, which Zone C is the library. And this one actually introduces another new enemy, which is the tennis-playing kangaroos. These are a little bit more difficult. They actually take 2 shots to defeat this time. So, but of course you can avoid their tennis balls. If you have a crate, just duck under the crate, and you won't take any damage. though you've got to be careful not to do that, or you will take damage. And we'll time it right here. And that was another thing. The little heart tokens that you get anytime. This is your status screen here. The F means the flowers that you collect. S is the stars that you collect, and P is how many lives you have. For every 100 of the flowers you get, then you see one of those flashing stars come through, and that is actually an extra life. I believe it's also the same if you collect 10 of the star icons. That also gives you another extra life. Or, not sure what that collects there, but we'll go ahead and get past this here. Yep, you know they're chipmunks when they're running on ceiling fans, and we've got our invincibility again. It's always good to have a Zipper running around just knocking everything out. And once again, another one of those pepper bottle thingies, which still don't know what that's for, and I probably will never ever find out. And the level's done. So we'll go through another bonus game and try to collect some more lives. Usually with these bonus games, the extra life is usually in the top middle, so you always want to try to go for that one. 95% of the time there is the extra life there. And Gadgets Hit this time, it's another repeat hint that we got from level B. But we're gonna get ready to go to episode D. We're gonna cut off the video here, and we'll see you next time for Let's Play Rescue Rangers. Until next time.